We've come a long ways, and I have lived through many payload panel meetings, which Piers referred to, the Barry and Moore led, in which there was a lot of effort to restructure the program, all with the objective, basically, of reducing the budget. They were painful, but they also were community building. There was a lot of work in the payload panel where the oceanographers tried to understand what the terrestrial ecologists wanted, and the atmospheric scientists understood what the trades were. And it was difficult, but it was also broadened Earth system science and appreciation for capabilities and trades of various communities. And I think that probably we all benefited from this. The way the program worked, I was selected for actually 2 to 3 years in writing as EOS Senior Project Scientist in 1992. It took me 16 years to get out of the job and retire. The very first thing I did was select Piers Sellers as a Terra Project Scientist. And then several years later, when he chose to become a human astronaut, a human satellite, and go to Johnson Space Center, he and I went up to the office to twist the arm and persuade my good friend Jorm Kaufman to take over the reins as Terra Project Scientist. Jorm's wife, or widow in this case, Jean Kaufman, is here with us today, and Jorm had a great job in working through the press conferences, the getting ready for launch, working closely with Chris Scalise, and I think there's a lot of his vision that is reflected in the program that we know today. It was also Jorm's vision, along with David Herring, but Jorm's vision to create the Earth Observatory website, which has become an outlet for showcasing to the general public a lot of Earth observations, science that can be done, explaining it to the general public, showing natural hazards, and it includes far more than Terra. So it's a very good legacy that Jorm also left, and the media picks up on this quite a bit. So I think that the other thing which I did, probably which I'm not sure was popular at the time, I created this thing called the Algorithm Theoretical Basis Documents to peer review and review all the algorithms early in the mission design so that the wider community could have a sense of what was to be produced. By and large, it was used as a positive, ideas of how you could improve things, the impact on the community. In all cases, all these panels always had somebody from the European Space Agency or Europe or Japan or New Zealand participate. And I think this was also very valuable for other agencies, other countries in the community to see the openness. I think that we should all take a lot of pride in this mission and the other 10 or so satellites that constitute the Earth observing system, and I think we should all celebrate that success. I was the senior project scientist and was responsible primarily for the science teams, the algorithms, and I also created the calibration validation program. Ghasim Asrar, at that time, early on, was the EOS program scientist. We worked very closely together, and he was responsible for all the interdisciplinary science investigations, and he created the Global Change Fellowship for graduate students to help educate people to use the data sets that we now take for granted. To remember also, there wasn't the World Wide Web, there weren't some of the computer resources. People had no idea how we're going to look at any of the data from this, and that computer technology has helped us and the world take full advantage of what we have done here. And you see it on news all the time and Google Earth and other things. So I think that we're here sort of to celebrate Terra, which 10 years ago, Friday, launched, but there's quite a legacy in Earth science. I remember being on the launch pad with Ghasim 10 years ago Friday, staying next to him when Terra was about to launch. And sort of, at that time, he was associate administrator and saying the future of Earth science rests in the success of this launch.